Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for doing this webinar with us. Just wanted to present myself first. I'm Dali. I'm with the ESL team working on the SAFE tool for security audit. And please, you can present yourself.
Hi, I'm Jonatan. I'm the CISO at the Erlang Ecosystem Foundation, and I'm primarily working on kind of improving the whole security posture of the whole ecosystem.
Thank you. A while back, we did an audit to your repository. Can you please give us a little bit of information about the repository itself and what it is about, the OpenID repository that you are working on?
That was an OpenID Connect client library that I developed as a stipend for the EEF. What was it now? 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the repository aims to really provide a complete client implementation of the OpenID specification, including all the optional bits, all the optional security features that you don't necessarily need to get it running, but are certainly good to implement to have a safe outcome for your project. And it includes both an Erlang core, some Elixir bindings for it, as well as some Cowboy integrations, plugs for Phoenix, and a few other bits and pieces.
All right, so could you share with us the objectives and intentions that you had in mind when initiating this review process?
Yes. So even though I consider myself as someone writing quite secure code compared with most people that are not very aware of general security practices, everybody makes mistakes. I largely wrote that code base myself up until this point, so there was not really any outside view on what I did, essentially. And basically, when I'm introducing a very security-focused library like this, it's very important to be actually sure that it is secure. Having an external reviewer also audit the library also just sends a signal to the outside that this is a library you can trust and that also welcomes to be analyzed, and just to make sure everything is really as safe as I personally think it is.
And so the conclusions that emerged from the review helped you with insights into your the objectives, right? So meaning that when you initiated this review and then you got the results, it gave you more of a final objective to what you want to achieve. And so this review that we did helped you in that aspect, I guess, and that made it into the conclusions of the review.
The review mainly showed a single finding that I also addressed after the review. But most of it was just confirming that I did a horrible job, which was good to see. And the one finding that was actually contained, which was around an unsafe string to atom call, essentially. It was in a good format. It allowed me to really see how you could use this. It allowed to really pinpoint the issue.
All right, and then, as you said, once you received this, the recommendations of the audit, the actions that you did afterwards, that's the important part. Could you maybe just tell us about the actions that you went through when you knew that there was a small vulnerability in the code?
Yes. So the vulnerability itself, the string to atom, is not in a very simple to reach place. So I was asking myself first, would I consider this a vulnerability or just something that is not very nice? I decided to go the safe route and just look at it as a vulnerability, because all the tooling in the ecosystem that picks up if you have a vulnerable version also works based on these kind of reports. And so, I decided to go the safe route. And so what I did is I used the GitHub private vulnerability reporting feature to create an advisory on GitHub. I used the advisory as well to coordinate with the safe team so that they could see if my fix was an adequate fix. And by fixing it, I also figured out that the whole thing that I was doing there wasn't really necessary, because it was about constructing a name for an ads table. And essentially, the namespaces of Gen servers and Eds tables are not shared. So I was just able to reuse the name from the Gen server. So the vulnerability itself wasn't, or the code that led to the vulnerability wasn't even necessary. And after I fixed and released the new version, I also requested a CV number and just published it out. I didn't really spread it far. I wasn't making any big announcements for it because I don't think anybody reasonably was vulnerable, just because most people configure one static OpenID provider, and this was really a problem with dynamic providers, and I'm not aware of even a single use case to this or at this moment. But yeah, by going this route, we just took the safe route and made sure that we did things properly.
Yeah, definitely, it was the safe route, even though it was in between, like design itself and also vulnerability. So that's why actually looking at some vulnerabilities can sometimes show you that there are some maybe design issue behind them, and that's what happened. And the vulnerability was eliminated and fixed afterwards. Thank you. So how would you characterize the whole experience with the collaboration with the ESL team throughout the process?
It was a very good experience. Essentially, I knew that you guys started work. After not a very long time, I received a report with that one finding in there. It was on some website with a login, and everything looked very clean. And it was right to the point. It gave me the information I needed, and I was able to do the fix. And so, yeah, a very, very efficient process.